In football, there are some players that kiss the badge, claiming they truly love to represent that club, showing the fans their undying faithfulness to the team, only to accept the better contract offered by their biggest rival. Today, I'll tell you about some of the biggest traitors in football history. In Italy, there are a lot of players that decided to betray their team by signing with their rival, and one of them is Hakan Çalhanoğlu. The Turkish midfielder spent 4 years at AC Milan, making over 170 appearances for them, being probably their best midfielder. However, after his contract expired in the summer of 2021, he left all Milan fans speechless. He didn't want to renew his contract with the Rossoneri, so he loved San Siro so much that he wanted to keep playing there. But for Inter, this proved to be a very good move for them, as he helped the Nerazzurri complete 2 domestic cup doubles and reach the Champions League final. This year, he's having probably the best season of his career, as after 15 games he has 7 goals and 2 assists. Next up will be Sol Campbell. By far the best English defender of his generation, the youth product of Tottenham left the latter's fans in tears in 2001. He managed to play 296 times at White Hart Lane, the actual Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, but he didn't care about that, as after his contract expired in 2001, he shocked the world by switching to their arch-rivals, Arsenal. After he announced his decision, he asked Spurs fans to respect his decision, but of course they didn't. Well, Campbell had the last laugh, as after leaving them, he managed to win 7 trophies with his new team, and Tottenham, you guessed it, none. We talked about a traitor that Arsenal took advantage of, so let's talk about someone who betrayed the North London club. After playing unbelievably at Feyenoord, Robin van Persie earned himself a transfer at one of the best clubs in England. He spent 8 years playing for Arsene Wenger's team, and he even managed to win the Golden Boot in the 2011-12 season, scoring 30 goals. Sadly for Arsenal fans, that was his last season with the club, as in the summer of 2012, he signed with Manchester United. Let's say this is not that bad, as their rivalry calmed down a bit, but what hurt the Arsenal fans was seeing their longtime player lifting the Prem the following year and winning another Golden Boot. RVP thought that United was a great club, but Carlos Tevez didn't have the same opinion as him. Whilst being under contract with West Ham, the Argentine was loaned out to Manchester United, and he was playing incredibly. So incredibly that after his loan expired, United hoped to secure a permanent deal for him, but it was not the case. In the summer of 2009, he decided to sign with Manchester City. Probably just like Çalhanoğlu, he loved the city so much that he didn't want to leave. During his 4-year spell at City, he even scored 3 times against United. What's funny for the Red Devils fans is that even though he scored 3 goals in the 2010 League Cup semi-final, United went on to win 4-3 on aggregate and won the cup in a final against Aston Villa. Okay, moving on to the important stuff, as I only want to mention 3 more players. We have Luis Figo, who's probably the most famous traitor in football's history. There were a lot of players that played for both Barcelona and Real Madrid, like Hagi, Eto'o, Laudrup, and the last player I'll talk about, but for sure he's the most famous one. In 2000, he left Barcelona for Los Blancos, and the Blaugrana fans never forgave him. They called him a traitor at every El Clasico, but what's shocking is that in November 2002, the 2 teams faced each other in a league game, and Barcelona's fans launched a pig's head at him. Crazy! During his first El Clasico, there were banners hung around the stadium with words like traitor, Judas, scum, or mercenary. Being the regular corner taker for Real, in that game he didn't take any corners, as he didn't want to get too close to the Barcelona fans. It's safe to say they really scared him. Another well-known traitor is none other than Zlatan Ibrahimovic. He was the first player on that list that moved between multiple rivals, not just 2. Ibra joined Juventus in 2004 after leaving Ajax. After only 2 years, he left Juventus, making the switch to one of their biggest rivals of that time, Inter Milan. Having 3 good years with them, he joined Barcelona for a year, but after that, he wanted to play for the 3 best teams in Italy and joined Inter's biggest rival, Milan. There's something with players joining both Inter and Milan, but I don't know what. AC Milan was the club he fell in love with, as he had 2 stints with the Rossoneri, winning 2 Scudettos before retiring this year. Well, after all, he is Zlatan, and we all know how he does what he wants. Finally, the last player I'll talk about is one of the greatest players of all time and someone who lacked any loyalty. During his incredible career, Ronaldo Nazario, not Cristiano, played for 2 sets of rivals, an achievement that only Baggio managed to achieve, but I can talk about him in another video if you want to, as there are more traitors that are worth mentioning. He proved himself at Barcelona after scoring 34 goals in 37 games, but after only 1 season, he moved to San Siro and joined Inter. He spent 5 years there but only played 99 matches as he faced a lot of injuries but still scored 59 goals though. Then, to shock Barcelona, he joined Real Madrid in 2002, the same year Barca fans threw the pig at Figo, so I think that's why the fans were not that angry about this transfer. To complete the 2 sets of rivals, he joined Milan in 2007 for a year, but again, because of multiple injuries, he only played 20 games for them. Even though he was so good, injuries ruined his career. Can you imagine how good he would have been if injuries never existed? If you do, leave a comment down below, and if not, check these videos out.